ABC Kinder Teach presents Miss Nelson Has a Field Day, written by Harry Allard and James Marshall. And I'm guessing a field day has to do something with a football field. For some weeks now, gloom had blanketed, which means everyone was sad, the Horace B. Smedley School. No one laughed or threw spitballs. No one even smiled. Miss Nelson was worried. There's Miss Nelson right there. Everyone was down in the dumps, which means that they were sad. Even the cafeteria ladies had lost their sparkle, their friendliness. Mr. Blansworth was so depressed or sad, he hid under his desk. "It's the worst team in the whole state," he said. And look, there's a little kid peeking in, and there he is, scrunched up underneath his desk. And it was true. The Smedley tornadoes were just pitiful, which means that they were very bad. Some of these kids look kind of silly, don't they? They hadn't won a game all year. They hadn't scored even a single point. And lately, they seemed only interested in horsing around and in giving coach the business, which means giving the coach a hard time. "Why practice?" they said. "We'll only lose anyway." So they were so bad that they thought, well, why even try to practice? We'll just goof around.
"We're in for it now,"
said old Pop Hansen, the janitor.
"The big Thanksgiving game is coming up, and the werewolves from Central are real animals. They'll make mincemeat
out of our team," which means they'll win by many points. "What's to be done?" said Miss Nelson.
"We need a real expert,"
said Pop. So he's saying we need somebody who really knows how to get the team in shape. But I think it's going to be Miss Nelson, who pretends to be Viola Swamp. That afternoon, while Miss Nelson was grading papers, she heard wild laughter. It was coming from the teacher's lounge. I wonder who could be laughing wildly. Coach Armstrong had cracked up. He had went a little crazy. "Oh, make us a fresh pot of coffee," said Miss Nelson. So he is so frustrated with his team that he's like, I'm just going a little bit crazy. When Coach had calmed down, Miss Nelson took him home in a taxi. "You need a nice long rest," she said. The next day it was announced over the PA, or like the intercom system, that Coach Armstrong would be out for a long time with the measles. He didn't really have the measles. He was just a little bit crazy. "Who will take his place?" said the kids. I bet it's going to be Coach Swamp, right? That's my guess. When Miss Nelson passed by Lulu's, that's a place where the kids hang out to eat, after school, a serious discussion was going on. "We need someone who can really get the team into shape for the big Thanksgiving game," said one kid. "Someone who knows how to get results. It's too bad Miss Viola Swamp isn't around," said another. "Who?" said a kid who was new in town. "You've never heard of Viola Swamp?" said the first kid. "The meanest substitute in the whole wide world. She's a real witch. She'd have no trouble getting results." Mr. Blansworth happened to overhear. There he is right there. He said. And look at, so Miss Nelson is listening, and so isn't Mr. Blansworth. I wonder what that means. said Miss Nelson, and she wasted no time getting home. After rummaging, which means looking for something but not very carefully, around in her closet, she found what she was looking for, an ugly black sweatsuit. Then she made an important phone call. "I'll be right there," said the voice at the other end. I wonder who she called. I wonder if we'll ever find out who she called. The next day, Mr. Blansworth announced that there would be football practice as usual. "Whoever it is," said the guys, "let's really give him the business." The doors to Coach's office flew open and out stepped... Is it going to be Viola Swamp? A lady in an ugly black dress. "My name is Viola Swamp," said the lady, "and I am here to get results." So it's really the principal dressed up and pretending to be Viola Swamp. "It's Blansworth," cried the guys, and they laughed him off the field. "Oh, rats," said Blansworth. "How could they tell?" Just then the guys heard the sound of squeaky tennis shoes. I wonder who that could be. Could it be Coach Swamp?
"I am Coach Swamp,"
said the lady in the black sweatsuit. "Holy smoke!" cried the team of the Swamp. The team's fullback tried to pussyfoot away, which means sneak away.
"Not so fast, Mr. Smarty,"
said Coach Swamp. "Wow," said one of the guys. "Did you see that tackle?" So she tackled the fullback, the person who runs with the ball, who was trying to sneak away. Coach Swamp was a real expert. She put the team to work right away. The guys had never done so many leg raises. "More!" said Coach Swamp. They had never run so fast. "More!" yelled Coach Swamp. "This is murder," said the guys.
"Pipe down!"
said Coach Swamp. In only a matter of days, the Smedley Tornadoes were looking better. Coach Swamp really gave them the business, which means it made them work really hard. Mr. Blansworth was a little puzzled, however.
"Who is that Miss Swamp?" he said. "Maybe Miss Nelson knows. I'll go ask."
Miss Nelson was busy grading papers when Blansworth looked in.
"I don't want to disturb her," said Blansworth. "She probably doesn't know anyway."
I thought that was Miss Nelson. But that looks like Miss Nelson there, so that can't be Miss Nelson. Or maybe, something's going on here. We'll have to figure this out. Down on the field, Coach Swamp was having a little talk with the team.
"And don't ever think you can horse around again," she said, "because the swamp will be watching."
And her sweatshirt says, "Coach, and don't you forget it." So she's saying, I'm the boss. When Coach Armstrong returned after his rest, he was very surprised by what he found. The guys played like a real team. "How did this happen?" said Coach Armstrong. Said the guys. So like, like they're doing that. And look there is Miss Nelson, and there is Coach Swamp. I thought they were the same people. What is going on here? On Thanksgiving Day, the Tornadoes clobbered, which means they won by a lot, the Werewolves 77-3. It was a great day for the Horace P. Smedley School. Mr. Blansworth treated the whole team to hot dogs at Lulu's. Miss Nelson went home tired and happy. Now we find out. Sometimes you just have to get tough, she told her sister Barbara. And by the way, thanks for filling in for me. Anytime, said Barbara, anytime. So they're twin sisters. So really Miss Nelson was being Coach Swamp, but her sister was being her. Very interesting.